on, guys? Zephyrnix here. So apparently there's still some people out there who don't really understand why the last bit of RxL's information was a bit flawed. Now, this is not a dig on RxL in any shape, way, or form. Like I said, I was done with that, but I really wanted to go ahead and explain this because I'm kind of surprised of how many people just don't understand. And to be perfectly honest with you, I guess technically speaking, it makes sense that they don't understand. Because if they did understand, they probably wouldn't be console gamers, I guess, right? That does make sense? Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to talk about two things that RxL mentioned that kind of shot himself in the foot, that kind of really showed that he didn't know what he was talking about, per se. Once again, I know this sounds like a dig on RxL. It really isn't. What I'm trying to do is kind of educate people on what's going on regarding this. Now, here's the thing. First of all, RxL did a kind of showed off a benchmark. Now, the reason why this benchmark is flawed, that the one here he used, is because the benchmark that he used, it wasn't exactly this particular video here, but it might as well be. Actually, it actually was this video. So if you look here, actually I don't think it's this video, but if you look here, what is wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture is that the guy is actually using a video recording software to go ahead and record this, and he doesn't really explain which ones he's using. Now, he could have used Fraps. He's could have definitely wasn't this one. He could use Fraps. He could use a lot of different things. But the fact of the matter is that he actually whatever he used was slowing down his PC. Obviously, that's what it does, because that's what Fraps does all the time. It'll go ahead and slow down your actual frames per second. But it actually gets worse than that. See, a lot of people actually believe that when it comes down to it, if you install too many games on your PC, it'll slow down your PC. That's actually very incorrect. It's actually the opposite. It's everything else that you install on your PC, like doing like web browsing. So when you browse the web, you install cookies and stuff like that, or web games. Those things slow down your PC, or other projects or other programs. Those slow down your PC. Installing games actually doesn't really slow down your PC. I mean, it does somewhat, but nowhere near the amount of the other things that the other things do. So that's one thing that we need to go ahead and address. So what was the guy's PC like? Was it was it something that he generally used for everything? Was it a gaming dedicated PC? You're not going to get good benchmarks if you don't go ahead and research that. So there's a lot of things that RxL just didn't know. For example, here's another guy who did another benchmark. Hold on. And he got a max frames of 30 frames per second and an average of 24 frames per second. But that's with the hair thing on. But like I said before, this is my video right here. I got the same exact settings, but I got 60 frames per second. Why? Because my system is a dedicated gaming rig. So, well, it was set on dedicated gaming rig mode anyway. So, yeah, that's the reason why I was able to go ahead and do that. Not only that, but if you look here, you'll notice that my video actually has a camera pointing towards the screen, not a directly recording software thing like a Fraps. So therefore, I was able to go ahead and get more frames per second because of the fact that I wasn't recording gameplay. Now these are common sense things to any real PC gamer, but apparently to RxL, which is understandable because RxL doesn't game on PC, but the other guy, whoever he got it from, this was not they didn't really understand this. So this is what I'll be talking about by ignorance. It's not a jab at people per se, but it is ignorant that you don't know that. I mean, it just is. That's number one. Now, number two is this. Now, a lot of people remember this particular article. Basically, RxL went ahead and posted this article as proof that people have that PC gamers have weaker rigs than their PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Here's the problem with that. Number one, well, everything that I mentioned in my other video, why that's a problem with that. But here's some other things I found out too. Number one is written by William Usher, who is not by any means sense of the word smart. Number two is written by over a year ago. Number three, if you actually go ahead and do the research here by clicking on whom he was actually talking to, this actual article was probably written sometime in August or September, because he kind of mentioned this, which was written in September, so it's actually over a year old. Now, here's the thing too. I can go ahead now, and I'm looking at the actual survey now. The survey is over a year ago. Let's take a look at what it is as of January, the end of January. So we have it right here that this is a January 1. Now, I can already end the video like this. Right here, this is also a January survey. This is for the video cards. If you look right here, it says DirectX, maximize system. It says DirectX 11 GPUs, and it says right here, 76.91%. Now, what does that mean? That means that there are 76.91% of PC gamers who use Steam who actually either have equal to or more powerful GPUs in their system versus what was actually in the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Now, that's me being nice. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm pretty sure 100% of this 76.91 people actually have stronger GPUs. The reason why is because, remember, the GPU in the actual consoles are actually they're kind of GPUs, which means that they are not as strong as the consoles. They're not as strong as the desktop GPUs, or or for that matter, even laptop GPUs for the most part. But if it's running DirectX 11, that means that it is most likely equal to or more powerful than. But the equal to is just me being nice. I'm just being honest with you. So already that's almost 77% of people who have a stronger PC versus the consoles. That's just it from there. And I can keep going. Now I can't go over physical CPUs, because a lot of people's like, well, Zephyrnix, remember the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 have 8 CPUs. No, you don't understand what a CPU is. That's the problem. And another problem is that different programs register CPUs as different things. Let me give you an example right now. I'm going to go ahead and so I'm actually running Windows 10 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up here. That's actually not it. Go back here again. Properties. There we go. And device manager and processor. So if you look here, I have an Intel Core i7-4770. Now, if you go ahead and research that, you'll notice that it will tell you that I have a 4-core CPU. But if you look here, it says 8 cores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that's it. Anyway, so here's the thing. Why does it do that? Well, simple, because basically the way I have it is that each core actually has 2 mini cores into it that equal up to 1 core. That's a really stupid way to go ahead and explain it, but that's about the best I can come up with at this particular point in time. But basically, each particular core has 2 cores. So these 2 cores, both cores equal 1 core. Okay? I know that's hard to explain, but it is what it is. I'm pretty sure someone in the comment section probably could explain it a little better than I can. So what that basically means is that I don't know exactly how this is. Now, I know for a fact that when it comes to the PlayStation and the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 is technically a 4-core processor. It is not an 8-core processor like it is actually doing that. Even if it was, which is a possibility it could be, but even if it was, it's a weak processor. So it's like it might as well be a a 4-core processor. But either way, the thing about it is that I don't know how Steam is actually reading these core processors. Are they reading it directly from my system? If so, then wouldn't I be this? I mean, I would think it would be this, judging from what I'm seeing here. But it is what it is. So I'm pretty sure it is this. So basically, long story short, I can't really use this as a way to go ahead and measure the power and the speed here. But like I said before, I mean, a core for CPUs for PC gamers is pretty different from a core from a console gamer. Like literally one of our cores could go ahead and run circles around 2 of your cores. It is what it is. But what we can do is we can do the math around certain things like CPU speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead right now and pull out my calculator, and I'm actually going to go ahead and mathematically go ahead and put together these speeds here. So here we go. We already know that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 actually have a maximum speed of 1.75 gigahertz. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and do the math here. So I'm going to go ahead and add up how much it is with percentage between this and this to show how much percentage of whomever was actually scanned with this actual particular survey, how many people in this survey actually have more powerful, more faster CPUs than consoles do. So without further ado, let's get started here. So it's 4.8 plus 9.63 plus 22.02 plus 7.75 plus 11.8 plus 14.84 plus 1.26 equals 72. So there's 72% people or PC gamers who took this survey actually have more powerful CPU speeds. But it gets worse than that. Let's go ahead and do the math for RAM. So with RAM, it's a little different here because technically I could go ahead and kind of, do a little tricks of the trade here, slide a hand if you will, but I'm just going to be 100% straight and forward with everyone. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do the math just from 8 gigabytes of RAM and up. Now, like I said before, granted, it should be like this. And the reason why it should be like this is simply because of the fact that video cards actually have about 1 or 2 gigabytes of RAM on their actual card there. But I know it has 1, and I really should be doing this to make it 100% fair, but I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and do 8 and up. So just doing 8 and up, let's go ahead and do it. Let's see here. So it's 29.39 plus 0.07 plus 0.29 plus 0.11, and very surprisingly 12 gigabytes and over. Actually, not surprisingly, because I have 12 gigabytes and over. I have 16. So 12.75. So about 42% of people have more RAM than the actual PlayStation. Now, the reason why I said that that may not be 100% fair is because like I said before, VRAM. Console gamers have VRAM. So technically speaking, I should be adding this to the actual mathematics. Basically, I should be adding that, which means that it should be coming up to about. So technically speaking, to be 100% honest with it, 75.57% of these PC gamers who took this survey actually have a more powerful rig than the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Why is that? Remember, 1.24 megabytes is actually a gigabyte in memory. But the PlayStation and the Xbox actually don't have video memory. They actually pull the memory from the actual system itself. So what I did was I took one memory from here because that would be equaled up to it. And then I went ahead and just calculated this right here. Like I said before, that's actually closer to just doing that. So, but if you don't want to accept that, that's more than fine because it don't really matter. Basically, between this alone proves that this thing is no longer valid. But don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure this wasn't valid to begin with. I'm just being 100% honest with you. This most likely wasn't valid to begin with. Anyway, I'm done. Just want to go and do that. Now, keep in mind, this survey is not 100% anyway. There are people out there who do not go ahead and apply to the survey. And there are people out there who do that. And it's very easy to go ahead and do that. You literally go into your settings and do that. Myself, I am not even sure if I'm actually applied to the survey or not. I'm pretty sure I am because of the fact that I do beta games for Steam all the time. So if I have to sign up for the beta, I'm pretty sure that I actually do go ahead and do this here too. I could also do this math as well. I could literally calculate like all these, and that would actually be another example of me actually having superior PCs, whoever does this, because console gamers can't go past 1080p. So literally it would be, the math would actually be 92% of PC gamers would actually have more powerful rigs because they can go ahead and reach multi-desktop resolutions, but that's just being a jerk at that point. So I just want to go ahead and kind of go over that real quick there. And yes, I could do this too, but come on, really? Do we really want this? This does not even calculate strength. So I'm trying to be. Anyway, you rate, comment, subscribe, guys. You guys have a good night. Zeph out.